Alright YouTube, welcome back. Part 2 to this 2006 Ford Taurus wheel cylinder removal and replacement. I apologize for that interruption. Good customer of mine come in, wanting to schedule an appointment for his show truck. So, you know, business and money first. We're back removing these two 8mm bolts, and you can go ahead and reach those with a shallow well 8mm socket that we got there, and just a regular size short-handled ratchet. That'll get the job done on this. So like I said, we're just gonna remove these two 8mm bolts. There's one right there. We're gonna set it off to the side here. We're gonna pull number 2, set that off to the side, and just give our shoes, get a little bite. Make sure they're free, nothing stuck on, and that should give us the leeway to pop this sucker on out. Ooh, yeah, you can see, man, this thing's leaking. Man, it is leaking bad. Holy cow. Man, these things, and they've been in there a while, they're going to want to fight you a little bit, but there we go. There's your gnarly, nasty old wheel cylinder that just failed. Go ahead and dump that in your oil bucket down there. It's no good. It's a $15, $20 part down at your local auto parts store. Nothing fancy. Make sure you get the proper circumference. And then what we're going to do is grab yourself a little wire brush like that. I get mine at the Dollar General store, man. You don't need nothing fancy. The damn wires fall out anyways. And you're going to take some brake clean. You're going to spray it down. Try to get stuff nice and clean. It ain't got to be perfect. You ain't going to eat off of it. Just try to remove some of this nastiness, some of this debris. Try to make it so nothing's going to hang up on you. And depending on how bad these shoes are, you're probably going to want to replace them too. If they've been soaked in brake fluid for too long, or they're soaked thoroughly through. Man, that's going to be on you. Every case is going to be different. But for me, these pads weren't too bad, so we're going to let them ride. But what we are going to do is spray them down with some brake clean and wire brush them a little bit. Knock off a little bit of that nasty on them shoes, and then we're going to get back to it. Where's that new? Here we go. We got the new wheel cylinder. You take it like this. I'm going to try to line it up, and you're going to see, let's get some light down here so you can see. You're going to see how this shoe right there, they go vertical. So what you're going to want to do is take your wheel cylinder right there. You can see how it's going to line up and be horizontal. You're just going to want to take this, give it a little turn on each side until you get those facing vertical. Make sure you put that bleeder screw in the right direction, which is going to be pointing up. So your unit is going to look like this, just flipped around, just like that. Bleeder screw facing up. And we're going to pop it on in if it wants to cooperate, because nothing can ever be simple. There we go. We got one in. I'm going to stretch that shoe, make sure it's seated. Pop that in. Little pry bar action on her. Everything should just pop back into place where that old one came off. Let's try it again. there we go. A little bit of we'll call it persuasion today. A little bit of persuasion on it will do wonders. Again, you just want to make sure everything's nice, it's fit, everything's seated, nothing's off kilter. Then you're going to take your two 8mm screws and run them back through where you got them from. Make sure they all line up. You don't want to cross thread none of this. There we go. We got one. Make sure you put both of them in before you go tightening them down. That way you don't got to take them back out. Try to line the crap back up. Get our light. There we go. Both bolts are now started in the holes where they belong. Run them down finger tight. Close as you can get it. And then we're going to take our 8mm again and tighten them down. Just like that, nice and snug. You ain't got to slay it, you ain't trying to strip it all out. And that is your new cylinder. You're going to take that line from before right there, your funky little curly line. We're going to put that back into place. Wheel cylinder first, seat that. Just be mindful now, guys, on how these threads start. You cross thread one of these babies and you out of line. You're gonna have to replace the whole thing, and my God, that's never fun. It's never good. That's gonna cost you money, put your job a little bit further behind for the customer. Just not good. Not good business practice. Everything today is just gonna give me a hard time. And then after you get all that in, you're going to come back behind here with your 10mm wrench, and we're going to do a gravity bleed on the system. Once that's gravity bled, then you're going to go grab your partner and have them pump that pedal for you. You're always going to start at this right hand rear, again your passenger rear tire, and bleed that first. And from there you're going to move to your driver rear, your left hand rear bleeding screw, and bleed that one. And then from there you're going to go back to your right hand side to the front and bleed that, and then to finalize to your driver's side left hand front tire. And that's going to be the order that you bleed these tires in. Now whether you got an ABS module or not, that's always going to be the order you want to bleed your brakes. Right rear, right front, left front. You do that, you'll never have a problem. Everything will be bled out great, and you should have no soft pedal, no air in the system, nothing like that. Now if you're working with a car with an ABS block, ABS module, 9 times out of 10 you're going to have to jump up in there and actuate it with your scan tool, depending on your technological capabilities. But that's another video. That's not what we're working on today. So as always, guys, I appreciate you stopping by, hanging out, watching the channel. Again, if you liked what you see, feel free to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, keep you updated on what we're working on over here. Again, I'm not always going to be doing brakes. It's just what we seem to be getting the most of right now. So hope y'all enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Be safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.